let me unveil this chest and we'll see what is that. Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today I've got a package that just came in from overseas. I spent about $5,700 on it, and I'm unsure how I did. I think there were a few instances where I wanted some inventory and I paid up to get it, and so most of this is going to be directed for resale, but I'm excited to see how it goes, and I'm going to open up this package and see what's inside. Let's get into the unboxing. And I need to get a bigger desk so that I can take a better aerial view, but here is the package. I'm going to cut it open and it'll probably just be a bunch of lots, and we'll go lot by lot here. And we've actually only got a small fraction of what is in the purchase in front of us, but we'll just go group by group. I'll probably take these away, and it might be a long video, but I try to bring you along the ride of a serious coin dealer. Obviously, I'm trying to expand the team, so if any of this stuff looks interesting to you, reach out. Would love to, expand the team basically. And, for people who are interested in getting their hands on a lot of interesting coins. So anyways, let's move this and we'll start cutting, see what's inside. I think the general rule will be to try to spare you as much sort of looking or like unboxing time as possible, but just think it's kind of interesting how they're doing it here. Maybe aluminum foil wrapped. I've heard that can be kind of good for obscuring coins, like if you're have like PCGS graded stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I can feel what looks like a little baggie inside here, and it looks like we've got some Norwegian stuff to start, so that's kind of interesting. I remember purchasing some Norwegian items. Some of this I really don't know what the coins are going to be. Others of it I have a better sense, but I'm kind of thinking, I feel like this was one of my worst purchases. These are some interesting 5 kroner coins from Norway, but I don't think any of them are going to be silver, so kind of not my best purchase because I think I paid a good amount for them. I think that they have some level of collectible value, but again, I don't always make the best purchases, so maybe also a good reason to try adding people to the team so that they can make better buys than I do. Now, to be fair, I'm kind of being self-deprecating in that I feel pretty confident in most of the buys that I make. But I'm going to keep moving. Maybe I'll open a few lots so we can kind of unbox them all in a row. And this is going to be an absolutely bonkers search. I think it'll probably take a long time. Maybe I should have done multiple videos, but I'm feeling like we just send it here. And it's also not the most tactical because I bought a lot of these crown coins. I do remember that, and they're really pretty beautiful. Let me actually adjust the lighting, and then I'll unbox these coin by coin. All right, I'm back. I think that is going to look a little bit better, but these are large crowns minted for Queen Victoria, and we have a few different sort of portraits and styles, but they're actually relatively good condition. I think a lot of them have nice levels of detail. Maybe some of them are a little bit clean, but they're also, just good looking coins. I had to pay a lot for them. These are not cheap items, but I think through the video, you'll also be aware that, well, I did kind of pick up a fair amount of them. So again, maybe not the most tactical, but I almost never see them come up for offer in larger amounts. And so I was like, now it's go time. But I think it's King or Saint, I think Saint George slaying the dragon is what we see on the reverse here. So just take a quick look through a couple different dates here as well. 90, a few from 90, 89. So, I know that I'll have at least maybe 2 more groups as well as a few singles. Let me open up this, and it will be a bit hectic, but just kind of fun for me to, it's honestly super fun how this coin journey has evolved, because it used to be like my favorite thing to do was unbox a $10 group off of eBay of pennies, and now I get to take a look at, a bunch of interesting silver denarii from that is probably kind of looks like Caracalla, but, somebody similar to that. Not exactly sure, probably another Caracalla or Septimius Severus or some sort of a, early 3rd century, late 2nd century Antonianus Pius Augustus. So I think it depends on the type, but I have to do a little bit more. I personally, not going to lie, I still need to get a better sense for all the different rulers based off portrait style. Like, to me, that looks like Severus Alexander. And that kind of looks right because it says Alexander Pius Aug, but more interesting ancient denarii. Alexander was 222 to 235. That pretty clearly says Plautilla Augusta. She was 202 to 205. I forget her relation. Probably would have been Septimius Severus, who was ruling at that time. He was from 193 to 211. His son Caracalla came afterwards. And that looks like a Diva Faustina Denarius with a portrait of, actually not sure who that would, maybe Eternitas. And then over here, another nice silver denarius of TRPOT. I still need to get all the abbreviations. That looks sort of like the actual Antoninus Pius. But some silver denarii, always a good thing. Maybe one more. That could be a Julia Domna based off of a quick look at the portrait. But let's see what, yeah, it says Julia, then it says M-A-M, Julia Mamea. So another one of the Julias. I shouldn't like mislead you and just tell you, misinformation, so I don't want to say any lies here, but I need to better understand. I think a lot of the Julias were supporting the reign, or like during the reign of the Severan dynasty, and so I don't know how they got there. I know there's Plautilla, Mamea, Domna. These look like some pretty chunky bronze coins. Maybe a few of them have been tooled or something, or the surface is messed with, but they're actually relatively large items. That kind of looks like, and it says right there, a Gordian III. He ruled 238 to 244. His Gordian the first and second died in 238. There was like a whole different group of rulers. That one says Alexander, so it's probably a Severus Alexander, and then it's like Senatus Consulto, showing that this was struck by the authority of the government. I still need to remember what the Cos III is going to mean right here. Let's see. Sharp portrait, that looks like a, Maximinus Thrax is what I believe, but that portrait type sort of mirrors Maximianus or Maximinus Thrax. And then right here, here's a Julia Domna, that's pretty clear there, Iulia Domna. And lastly on these, what I believe should be sestertii, another, that says Lucilla, so she was earlier. I think it's like mid 160s, maybe around Commodus and some of the other sort of rulers of that time frame. But next up, this looks kind of interesting. I'm seeing a few different metals here, and let's see. We really got a big group of stuff in here. I know there's some interesting tokens. There's some like one-off metals. There's some ancient coins, world stuff. I'm seeing a Washington quarter that I kind of forgot about, if I'm being honest. So it's, and I feel like that's what's so fun about being part of Treasure Town myself, is just I get to see such a variety of items. But these look like some interesting metals and stuff. I guess this one, looks like some sort of an old metal, but I may need some assistance in determining. And I'll probably, just because I'm also filming on somewhat of a small desk, may stop at some point. Her Most Gracious Majesty Victoria. I wonder if this is like an early Victoria, like 18. She started in 37, and that says 1838. So let's see what this scene says. Born May 24th, 1819. Ascended the throne June 20th, 1837. Crowned June 28th, 1838. So, or maybe it's like in the early 1840s or something. But really interesting piece of, a medal and that history. Here are some smaller ones, almost like Jeton sized. That says, well, what does it say? Gray, Russer, and Broham, the friends of the people. And over here, George III, King of Britain, etc., 1773. Also an interesting medal. The medals is just something I don't know a ton about that I'm really trying to get smart around, because there's so many interesting coins at such a discount to what the coins trade for. Like the medals are much cheaper and often have incredible history. Post Nubila, Phoebus, and then right here we've got, what does that say? Morbus Inspectus, a lot of Latin on these coins. That one is going to be of Robertus Felloes LLD. Merenti Prosperit. I'm not sure. I'll find, again, it's probably not going to, because of the sheer volume of stuff, I probably won't be able to follow up immediately, but as I catalog this stuff or have other people catalog it for sale over time, I'll certainly figure out what everything is talking about. 1858 medal in commemoration of the opening of the Newport Dock extension. 1850s. So another very interesting group of medals, actually probably bookended by this one. Then maybe we'll get some of the other crowns that I can see out of the way, but what does that say? Nice, interesting portrait. The relief on these is actually really quite sharp. And then here it says, a tribute Southwark to the memory of Charles Calvert and their faithful representative from died 1832. So presumably sometime in the, maybe 1830s, 1840s. Right here, this looks like a smaller group, and I know we have a few smaller groups of these potentially nicer medals with more detail into the specifics of their design. Actually in pretty solid shape, 1893 there, maybe with some more die information, the different varieties. But yeah, those are very pleasing. 50 pounds, that's like $70, so I think I'll try to get somewhere, probably the average one will probably be a little bit less than $70, but I can't go too much below that or I'll be struggling in terms of how to make any money on these items. But again, it's like the British coins, there's just something really interesting about them, and I'm excited to bring them, in pretty good shape. Again, they're worn. That one has a little bit of scratching on it, actually some graffiti, so maybe that's not the best example, but these are not like horrible cull coins for the most part. They might have a little bit of a scratch or a stamp or just some general wear, but I always think crown size world silver is something to be excited about. This one's also kind of cool. I believe that these are all Maundy pennies, which I have to get a little bit smarter on. I think that they were like these special issue strikes that the Queen would release, more catered towards collectors, or maybe they were just given to commoners. I forget exactly how it would work, but all these little 1 penny, low mintage, 1834, that one looks X-mount, 1838, 1836, 1833. Some of them, and they're not necessarily a queen, some of them are the King, was it William the Fourth? These are really small items, but also quite historic, so those are super cool. Got to get some of these little baggies out of the way. Let's try, this is an interesting group of also some slightly more modern, but well collected. I think I've sold one of these items, like a graded version of these medals. And they're pretty sought after. I think Eimer, E-I-M-E-R, is like the catalog on these types of items. But they can actually carry a pretty solid premium and be quite interesting. Here we have the portraits. Let's see if it says or I immediately know. It kind of looks like Edward, and yeah, maybe it's a King Edward medal. Let's turn over to the back. Stet Fortuna Dominus. This is going to inspire me to, I'm actually now not remembering exactly which one this is, but there it says MC, that's Latin, Roman numerals, so C is 100, so 1910, that would make sense that this would be Edward transitioning over to, and then here's MCM, 1935, so sort of the reign maybe of King George V that would have taken place in that time frame. So I got a few of those medals. I know there's also a couple other medals, but I'm just going to clean up the desk here and make it maybe a little bit more organized. And we'll start right back up again. So right here we've got this Parthian tetradrachm. It's not in the best condition, but I still really like, you can see like the Basileus, and I forget exactly if it's Phraates or Vardanes or somebody else, but it's got to be, I think, 1st century BC, 1st century AD. I'll take a closer look at that later. I can't, I don't want to pretend I can ID that right off the top. Here there's sort of a group of coins from Cyprus, which is interesting. I think I might have paid a little bit too much for some of these items, but they're also super interesting. I know that there's a few silver ones in here. You've got some good looking 1 piastres from the 40s, but here We've got 49. That's not going to be silver either, 2 and 1 shilling. But here are some of the possibly better ones. So we've got a 1921 4.5 piastres. There's a 1901 coin of Queen Victoria, as well as, let's see, this looks like, those don't look like silver, but these two. There's a 1949 piastre and a 1901 9 piastre. So anyways, you know, not every purchase, I definitely agree with that kind of sentiment. Like, there's definitely going to be purchases where you're like, oh, why did I buy that or offer on it? But at the same time, I haven't bought much Cypric, I think that's how you would say it, material, so I wanted to test it out. Right here we've got, you know, there's some 80s and 90s. That's probably our last large batch. There might be 1 or 2 more on the crowns, but I think those other groups are going to be like, and I'm just going to put those coins away. The other coins are going to be like groups of 3 or groups of 4, so a lot less significant from a numbers perspective. I'm just opening right here what looks like a batch of some silver coins, Silver World coins, which, you know me, that's something I'm always interested and excited around. So that looks like potentially a Serbian coin, maybe Bulgarian. That's probably 5 francs. That seems to be, oh, that's from Monaco. I'm actually not sure that that one's going to be silver, but hopefully it is. Maybe a Saudi coin, Portuguese, 2.5 escudos. There is also a Portuguese coin of Mozambique that's silver, and a beautiful 1 lire from Italy. I love that silver design. 1913 Brazilian 500 race, and a 50 piastres from Lebanon. I'm not sure that that is silver. Maybe it is. We've got Ottoman Empire, and then a 5 forint from Hungary, 1947. Swedish 2 kroner from 1926. A U.S. silver coin, Argentinian, 1883. I would guess that the ones that I don't know if they're silver, that they are going to be, but will be good research for later. Czech coin, probably another Serbia in a 10 dinara, and then some earlier French stuff. So again, something that's just fun. I like the world silver a lot, and I am seeing that we have a few groups of ancient stuff, which I'd be excited to check out. This is just like got to be the messiest unboxing that I've probably done. Here's some ancient stuff. Apparently this one's rare. We'll see. I might need a bit of a check later to confirm, but it is an interesting reverse design of some sort of a dragon or a bird with a portrait of Diva Faustina. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Some different bronze, maybe Dupondius, Ass, Sestertius. That one has a little bit of residue, and I don't immediately recognize the portrait style. This one looks like more 3rd century. We'll see if we can make something out. Imp looks like Constantius, P.F. Og, so maybe Constantine the Great in a bit worse condition there. Also, let's see, that looks, I assume that is genuine coin, Vespasian. It's a little bit more worn though, and maybe a little slightly modern looking. We'll look it over in close and careful detail. Right here, we've got Antoninus Pius, a nice large bronze of his, as well as this item with a bit of chipping, and maybe a Commodus coin. Let's see. It's just super, super fun, as you could imagine, to be going through these items. That one looks like the Janiform, meaning back-to-back heads. That would have been Roman Republican from after about the early 3rd or late 3rd century BC, and then I don't know if that's a Lucius Verus, but some sort of large bronze. 2 more to go in this small group, and then we'll keep going. But you know, some really nice looking items, and I'm personally a big fan of that group. Maybe we'll get right into some similar bronzes, potentially slightly lower condition, but I don't get so many of these, and so any of the Sestertii or just, you know, bronzes from this period, I'm pretty pumped about. That looks like I'm not sure, maybe a Faustina coin. Right here we've got, just a bunch of interesting. Some of them have a little bit of residue, which doesn't surprise me. That one unclear on probably the ruler, but we know. And then we have some that are just beautiful looking. Like, take a look at the detail on this Julia Mamaea. That's a serious coin. Beautiful, beautiful item. More Aninus. It has to be Antoninus Pius. Right in here with a few more Antoninus. There's a radiate coin. S something. PF Aug. Interesting. And then lastly, what on earth is this going to be? I couldn't tell you. Looks like probably some sort of I can't tell if that's like a Hadrian type, but you can probably identify that one based off of the style on it. And it's just in time for another small group of what look like mostly denarii. Again, earlier there's Julia Augusta. I think that's Julia Domna. Right here we've got Antoninus Aug. Probably some of the lettering and I'll have to research those off camera as I identify them. Diva Faustina. There's an earlier one that kind of looks like Caracalla, maybe Geta. Here we've got probably some sort of a lot of these are Severan dynasty. That one is a Julia Mesa, which was maybe one of the denarii that we hadn't seen. So that one's also interesting. Take a look at this large medal of Queen Anna, August. It's got a little hole at the top, but it's got the trophy of arms, MDCCX. That's 1710 would have been the date on this medal. Super, super interesting. Really neat item, and that's beautiful. I don't know. It's fun. It is super fun for me to purchase items, especially now that I get to work with a little bit of a larger sort of, a term for it could be like working capital, or like what's basically in the business is getting larger. So here we have a lot of different Swedish silver coins, accompanied by what look like to be some early bronzes. There's a Ceylon 48, probably cents from 1802. How interesting is that, with a nice elephant? That's Sri Lanka. There's an 1815 one stiver. Super, super neat. Early Swedish 1889. There's a Finnish. It's often would have very similar to the Russian crest on a lot of the Finnish items. 5 ore. That one's a probably Swedish 1 krona from 1876. And I just get to learn so much about these. I wish I got to slow down and make more content. 1875 50 ore. 1 ore with the beautiful dolphins from 1894. Some of these are in pretty nice shape as well. There's a 2 ore. I dropped a coin, which I will retrieve, but these seem to be mostly like Swedish miners, but older coins. So that one's from 1917. Also just a fun batch. And that definitely seems to be the theme. Let's do this one more, and then it's another sort of cleanup pause as I try not to have this get totally out of control. But we've got a mix of that one, Leopold, a Solidus coin, or from Silesia. That's where my German ancestors are from. 1760 something, 10 Kreuzer from like probably Prussia or Austria area. Here's a later one, 1848, with a little bit of bronze disease. There's a Archbishop Johann Ernst silver coin, a 1792 Habsburg Jeton. This is an old collection. Hopefully it's cool looking. Really, really interesting. Small planchet, but I'm a big fan of any Jetons, and that one's pretty cool and historical. Levin the Fifth Cilician Armenia coin. And then right there, that looks like an early France, maybe some sort of a Austrian or Holy Roman Empire item. William II coronation, that's got to be an early, I don't know when, Willem of the Netherlands, some sort of a token there. Charles, a uniface Charles VI coin from the early 1700s. is certainly interesting. There's a, let's see, Luxembourgian coin as well as a Maria Theresa item. Another Frederick, they're claiming rare 1148 to 1250. I want to see what that coin looks like. Maybe it's one that maybe it's the Fredericus. Oh no, I haven't seen this type before. Fascinating. Not in great shape, but it'll look great in a Treasure Town flip. That's what I can promise. And then lastly, not such a rare item, Nassau. What even is this coin? Something of Amsterdam. Maybe a token? I'll flip it over and see if they give us info, because I do not know that one. Prince of Orange, Nassau copper from 1844. That's sweet. Well, and let me pause. There's the Solidus to just do some cleanup, but more incredible finds through this hunt. And as we continue, I figured I would just briefly show this. This is a kind of insane, and again, I bought a lot of these, so bunch of old silver, sterling silver, 3p coins, a wide range of dates, but most of them are going to be Edward, if not all of them, Edward the 7th, who reigned from 1901 to 1910. So, hopefully that was a okay move from my end. We might have already taken a look at these coins. I think I recognize them, especially the Julia Mamaea. So just going to put that group away as well. But here's an ancient mix with some items that I think are really pretty good looking. We'll see. Right here it says Imp. Let's see. There's, yes, Gal Val Maximinus. So this is like the Tetrarchic period before Constantine the Great fully seizes power. But a nice item. Right here, this is going to be, that looks like Constantius. And I'm not exactly, it says Caes, so maybe he's only ruling as Caesar, or maybe it's, during the Tetrarchic period, just given the flan size. Flan is like what the item was struck on. This one looks a little bit messed with, but also the Galval Maximinus Nob case, so somebody who's ruling as sort of like the, under ruler, as well as another Tetrarchic phallus there. So some nice bronzes right here. I don't think they were super expensive. That one looks like, that's a pretty interesting, actually, type there. Vought XX, I don't know what's underneath it. And then maybe a few earlier ones. And then a nice Campgate phallus of Licinius. So that's pretty cool. Here we've got a few, some of these look a little bit more cleaned up, but some crowns. Those are probably the last group of crowns here. And then we have some other nice Queen Victoria medals like these Jubilee. These are silver items, and they're actually pretty sought after. So I've definitely sold some of this type before seeing these, and they normally go for, like, in my experience, 40, 50 plus. Well, actually, they've always gone for more than $50, but I don't want to inflate values just by saying that. So I want to qualify the statement. That one looks like there's a little bit of, it's a thick lettering, but Septimius Severus, very classic bearded portrait. He was in 193 to 211. That one's earlier. It says case, maybe it's Domitian or Nerva or one of those earlier ones. Some interesting bubbles and flan flaws. I'll take a closer look at that one. That one looks a little bit more towards, honestly, it's some weird lettering, but that says Vespasianus. I don't even know if that one's, what is going on with this coin. Maybe it's a fantasy strike. More inspection required. That's a Commant, probably Commodus. And then, that's a pretty sharp, nice relief on that portrait. Here we've got a little mini 1851. That's a Billen 20 francs. There's a 1 Batson 1828. And it looks like maybe there's even 2 coins stuck in there. Here's the last one. 1794. Dominus Providebit from Bern with a little bear. Kind of a fun, if you're making a zoo collection, that's a good add. And then a few other early Tetrarchic period bronzes, though these are pretty nice looking. Large flans, large planchets that they've been struck on. That one's got some real bronze disease. That one's a little bit of an earlier type as well. There's a really sharp Licinius. Those often come very well struck and preserved. And then Another Tetrarchic phallus. Let's see if there's other immediate stuff to take a look at. I do have some off camera down here that I opened up but have not looked at. I only saw a few of these. 1994 Proof 68 Deep Cameo, 50 pence. We've got a silver 6 pence, Mint State 67, beautiful. British India 1933 quarter Anna, and then a Mint State 64 1964D Washington quarter. Hey, it's 90% silver. Not bad. We've then got this slot, which I think is some nicer shilling coins that I was interested in. And let's take a closer look here. Still have nice luster on them as well. Beautiful. 2 shilling. That one's a little more cleaned up. 1904 again. And then maybe an earlier type. This one's going to be 1820. Well, let's take a look at that item. King George III. Some of his last years. Also probably a full, what is this? Yeah, a full shilling denomination. And we'll do one more group. This one's pretty interesting. It's a bunch of metals. And I think that there could be some pretty fun stuff inside. So let's take a closer look. I already dropped something, which is this little token. It's a halfpenny token with a die crack, Parish Newcastle on Tyne. And then there's some interesting coronation stuff. And that looks like just a modern, what even is that? A modern Canadian dollar. A little bit crazy. Here we've got some coronation stuff. That's probably the early 1902. So a lot of early medals there and pins. There we can see, you know, on some sort of a pin, 2 coins actually. That one's a pretty cool, interesting, probably pewter or white metal. It's kind of a metal. Brotherly Love, Relief, and Truth, 1902. Beverly Friendly Coronation Souvenir. There's always lots of coronation stuff going on, and we see that here. Incredible relief, though, on that one. Super neat. 1902 as well. Some more tokens, more coronation stuff. That one says £14, 97 cents. Thank you token. Probably a bit inflated. I doubt it was for that much. Captain Scott medal. There's an interesting postage. 1 penny, 1990 medal. Nice commemoration. And that's a serious planchet size. Let's pull it out of there. 1937 coronation of King George the Sixth, I would imagine. And then the last 2 in this group. Here's a coronation one, the Bell Medal, presented by the Society of Miniature Rifle Clubs. So, also pretty fascinating. I don't think there's any like wildly expensive medals in there, but at the same time, coronation stuff early, period is not, they're not all $2. I'll put it that way. There should be some stuff in there with a solid amount of collector appeal. I think I'm going to do another clean as we prepare. There's probably like 5 lots left. And I think you could fairly describe this as sort of the crazy odds and ends, but I'm going to probably go fast because there's a lot to cover. We've got a bunch of Gibraltar crowns, interesting, Australian, what seem to be like circulating commemoratives. We've got this Australian government Departments of Veterans Affairs 2005 medallion. Interesting. That sort of stuff I have no way of knowing. I don't really deal in, certainly not modern commemoratives of other countries. I can barely keep up with what the United States is doing on the moderns front. There's, I guess, a silver 1966 Australian coin, but some coronation, bronzes, wedding anniversary, lots of assorted miscellaneous crown coins. There's another silver one. Ooh, and an 1887 British crown. That's going to have some value. 1966. What on earth? That looks 5 shillings from 1951. Some sort of like a medallion. Don't think that that's silver. There's another one, the Midland Bank. A few more Midland Bank items. There's Australian silver and a British crown. So, very fun. The Midland Bank doesn't seem to bode the best from a value perspective. I do recognize some of those, but we did definitely pick up some silver there and some $5 coins from Australia. I feel like I've seen these out of the packaging, so kind of fun to have them in it. There's at least some face value there that's not insignificant. This was a big group, I think, of metals where there was some early types, and then there was also some, I don't want to call them worthless because I don't like calling coins worthless, but just like some stuff that's not super rare. So like could be pretty cool. Corporation omnibuses, 1 pence prepaid. Here's like an early 1812 trade and navigation halfpenny token. I heard that there were some of those in there. You know, that is not something I know. Union des Commerçants, Quarter du Port. Let's find what some of this other stuff is. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, 2002. That's more modern. There's a 1953. Coronation Peace, Belgian Heritage. So this stuff is kind of all over the map. I gotta look though. There's an Ottawa coin from Canada. Souvenir dollar. That's actually pretty cool. It's got a nice strike to it at least, and good luster. I'm just seeing though, 1833 Upper Canada halfpenny token. So it's not all, that one looks old. Actually quite old. Industry by the source of content. And then we've got something right here, 1794 Manchester by the Sea. We've got some zinc items. Wow, this should be its own defense medal. These could definitely be their own videos. Here is Princess of Wales, also 1793. I'm pumped about this little group here. I did not spend a ton of money on it, and I thought it was going to be good. I recognize that one. It's the Nunquam Aracerit or something like that. Then JIT and Co. Limited. There's some of these, like, I forget if they're mining tokens. We have some there's a sweet department, 1885 or S&TE department. I am probably rushing a little bit more than I should be through these, but I just don't want to bore you guys. 1812 halfpenny token. You can imagine how much fun I have just looking at these interesting coins and keeping a few of them, passing more on to new collectors. The Right Honorable Gladstone, champion of the franchise and friend of the people. What else do we have? A random other Chinese coin. Here's a Victoria 1887 medal. That looks a little bit more modern. That one, I don't know if looks like some sort of a Jeton. Let's see if there's any last minute stuff here. Like, that is interesting. Johnston Fish Inn, 1.5, probably pence for Carlisle. Liverpool House of Sunderland. This is interestingly scratched up. 58, PG 58. What does that say? Halfpenny. Well, I'm going to leave that there. I'm sure you'll see them if you hang around the Whatnot sales. These are really cool. I need to learn more about them as well. But some interesting different sort of tokens from, I think it was mining or different sort of private issue strikes. Houghton, High Moor, colliery tokens. I believe that's what these are called, but it was like, have not learned about these. So sometimes with a coin, like my strategy is just, I don't know about it, so I'm going to buy it, and then I'm going to learn about it. And so, before I get to sell them, the only things remaining that we have are this patch, which I believe came with the crown coins first. There were some coins that kind of fell out of there, but I do think I have to rearrange one more time. It said that there might be some silver in the mix, so looks like there's a good amount of Australian stuff. That looks silver, and that looks old. Not sure what that old coin is. This one is a 1929 one golden. So one more final rearrange. We also have this box of random. I took a look at it, and it's bizarre. Let me unveil this chest. Let me unveil this chest, and we'll see what is that. Huh. And they're pretty light feeling. Okay, I'm going to clear off and do these last two groups. So I think before we actually uncover that chest, I want to, and we'll put the silver over here. I forget how much I paid for this group, and I love that there's some just regular US coins in there, because obviously I can use that. Ooh, that one looks interesting. Appears as though we've even just hit a quick silver mini treasure trove. Ooh, no, those are not silver. 1945 is, 47 is not, 43 is, 51 is not. Alright, well, I'll take out the silver here. It's going to be, I think, 46 in back. Don't quote me on that. I thought I saw one other One of these might have been silver. No, I must be wrong. Well, 2 more silver coins to add is nothing to complain about, but I can feel even some other bags of stuff in here, so what on earth is going on? This feels like good news because, again, this was a group I did not pay a ton for. There's a British pound coin. Oh no, those just look like a bunch of half pennies, which are fun, but not, I was not pulling out a bunch of, many of them are silver items. It was more so just, okay, this is going to be quite a hunt. This 1945 New Zealand coin, I feel like there's at least a half chance that it's 50% silver. Here's more British regular coins. That may be a big theme in the rest of this bag, and it appears as though it will be. That looks like quite an interesting hunt for, I would guess. I'm looking through it as fast as I can. I'm not seeing anything that's too suspiciously a candidate for being silver. I saw one coin on the edge there. Let's see what that coin is. 1941, so there is some silver. So maybe I'll sort that off camera because I think it would be kind of a long journey to have to watch me sort all of that stuff. Here are some crown coins. Also just going to be kind of regular items, but they're still fun. I mean, they're still collectible, and you can definitely have some interesting pickups in a batch like that. And then a few more loose items. Let's see. Not shaking out. A Pobjoy mint. I feel like they're one of the main mints. I think we've got everything else in there. Let's see. Some more U.S. spending. There's a 1916 sterling silver coin. And then a large 1858 2 pence, I believe. So not valueless, which is always a good thing. What else do I have? I think I'm not going to show, but the idea that there's a little bit of silver, that looks like a possible additional silver coin, or maybe it's the one we already found. But if we flip it around, 1946, I think that should be good. So there's probably like, I don't know, a little bit more silver at least in there. And the last thing is going to be this sort of bizarre case right here. I need to find out what is in these things. I feel like it's just not going to be worth... Oh, interesting. I think I'm wrong. I think it's a presentation case with a bunch of random ancient coins. There's a large Byzantine trachy coin from like the probably 1200s or excuse me, 12th century. That one looks sort of like Indian. Okay, actually, we get to know what these even are. Take a look at this. Oops, let's see. 12 religions of the ancient world. So that's 12th century. Yay, I was correct. But let's take a look at everything in here, because this is actually a pretty fun unboxing. Taoism, Zhenzong, that's the Northern Song dynasty. Cash coin. This coin is a Sultans of Delhi, apparently. Silver half tenka. This next one is going to be the Mongolians. Normally these sets are like a little bit overpriced in terms of how much they get sold to people for, but at the same time they're pretty cool. I mean, here, yeah, a Mongol Empire silver fraction. Then we're going to have a Japanese copper mon, so it's probably like a Japanese trade coin. Yeah, from like 1668 to 1700, they would have made those in a, relatively solid amount of quantity. That is a really nice looking Bilan Tupe coin, or half wong, from Cambodia, like 1840 to 1860. And I guess that does represent Buddhism quite well. This one is going to be a Indo-Sassanid silver dram. I've seen Sassanid drams. I'm less familiar with what the Indo-Sassanid silver dram would be. Oh, interesting. Okay, I actually do. This is like a Gadia Paisa. It's a silver kind of bill-in item, and it does draw on. That makes sense, but from Zoroastrianism. There's some more expensive items that I sell, like Sassanid, Persian drams. Here's a Gupta, like 4th, 5th, yeah, they're saying 5th century Gupta silver Karshapana. Apparently, then we'll get a Arianism, a bronze Nummus. I don't know, I feel like there was the Arian Creed and the Nicene Creed. Those were different types of Christianity, but that one's a pretty nice looking Valens. I want to say Valens was like 260 or 364 to 378, somewhere in that range. A Hellenistic polytheism Nicene bronze of, kind of looks like Severus Alexander. But again, I'm like only been doing ancients for like a year and a half and not even studying in extreme depth, so I'm still learning a lot and having a ton of fun with it. Right here we've got a Judean King Alexander Jannaeus, like 103 to 76 BC or so, bronze lepton. And then last is going to be a Jainism, 4th century BC, to close this thing out, silver Karshapana from the Mauryan Empire. How fun. Super, super cool presentation case. Again, probably not the highest value items, but you know, it is a pretty nice presentation case, so kind of fun for collectors, and glad that I picked that one up. I feel like we just got so many items, and you know, what do you think? $5,700? It's going to take a massive amount of effort to get all of that back, if I even get it, but it's going to be a ton of fun along the way. So grateful that you all joined. I need to update this. It's still the very first logo of Treasure Town, and it will be a lot of work to inventory all of it, but we'll be excited to do that and see you in other unboxings. I always try to film them. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another.